It's 8 a.m. on a crisp fall morning. You're in a $4 million Bugatti Chiron. There's 16 cylinders idling behind you, and your heart's beating as you wait for the all clear. The signal comes, and you accelerate. 0 to 60 happens in 2.3 seconds. 120 happens in 5.6 seconds, and 200 miles an hour happens in just 15 seconds. You continue to accelerate. You're hitting 220, 240, 260, 280. You take the final gradual curve, and you accelerate, and you hold on tight. Finally, your radio speedometer, GPS verified, shows 304.77 miles per hour. You've done it! You've broken not only the speed record for any production car, but you've broken the 300 mile an hour barrier for the first time. This was the experience of Andy Wallace, who also had the experience of breaking the production car record in 1998 in the McLaren F1 on the exact same track. It's not easy to break 300 miles an hour in any car, no matter how much it costs. So how did Bugatti do it? To answer that question, we'll have to go back over 100 years to 1909 when Ettore Bugatti founded Bugatti Motor Company. They were best known for their race cars. They were nearly undefeated. They were the fastest cars at the time, and for about 40 years they had the most successful racing record on the planet. The most popular and the most successful was the Bugatti Type 35B in 1927 to 1931. Today, this car sells for about $5 million. It won thousands of races and was nearly undefeated. After their racing history kind of came to an end, they transitioned over into ultra luxury, creating hand-built, one-of-one, completely unique cars for the most rich clients imaginable. Those cars led to the Bugatti Type 57 SC Atlantic in 1937. This car is one of only 3 that remain and sold in 2010 for $30 million. After this time, it just about died out. They lost just about all their customers, they didn't make a lot of cars, and they kind of faded out of the public eye until 1987 when another Italian decided to purchase the rights to Bugatti and bring the company into the modern age. The car that he created was the Bugatti EB110 in 1992. This car had a mid-engine V12, produced 550 horsepower, and was the most influential and powerful car of its time. And it was able to set a speed record in 1992 of 218 miles an hour. A record it would be able to hold for the next several years until the McLaren F1 came out. This car set the new record at 240 miles an hour in 1998, a record that it would hold for about 15 years until Bugatti again bought out, this time by Volkswagen in 1998, the same year that F1 set the record, created the Bugatti Veyron 16.4 Grand Sport Vitesse. This is the most intense version of the car that was able to set the record again in 2013 of 276 miles an hour. The Veyron is powered by an ancient engine. In 1916, Bugatti created the W16 engine. It's 2 V8 engines mated together that produce an insane amount of power. This specific engine produces over 1,000 horsepower, the first production car ever to have that kind of a number, and was able to take the record of 268 miles an hour. That record didn't hold for very long. In 2017, the Agera RS Koenigsegg came out and was able to take the record again, this time at 278 miles an hour. Bugatti at this point decided to reevaluate. Shortly before this record was set, they had released their next model, the Bugatti Chiron, powered by the same quad-turbocharged W16, this time producing 1,500 horsepower, with a sticker price of $3.5 million, and capable of over 270 miles an hour. Only 500 units were going to be made worldwide, all of which sold out by 2022. The base model of this car was not up to the task of taking the speed record back or breaking the 300 mile an hour barrier, which is what they wanted to do. So they created the Bugatti Chiron Supersport 300 Plus. This car is about 10 inches longer. The back end is completely redesigned with an all-new diffuser, all-new exhaust system, and all the comforts taken away to make it as light as possible. This car was able, on August 2nd, 2019, at the Bugatti test track to hit 304.77 miles an hour, a record that is currently unbeaten, though there are a lot of contenders that they're going to attempt to break that. Now, immediately after breaking the 300 mile an hour record, they decided that they were done chasing speed records. After 110 years of chasing the fastest cars in the world, they decided it's too dangerous, too expensive, and too difficult. Even though they have stopped trying to produce the fastest cars, they still are producing some of the craziest and most exclusive cars, including the Bugatti Persport, of which there's only 60 and costs $5 million a piece. The Bugatti Bolide, also $5 million and only 40 units a piece. The Bugatti Divo, $5.5 million, 40 units. The Bugatti 110 $8.8 million a piece, and only 10 units. And finally, last but not least, the one-of-one custom Bugatti La Voiture Noire, valued at $12 million. Clearly, they aren't done building cars. They make the most incredible cars on the planet and the most powerful. However, they are now retiring the legendary W16 engine. In 2021, the company was bought by Rimac, which was an all-electric company, that has decided to retire the old engine and in favor of a hybrid/electric car. Now, clearly this means that it's the end of an era. The W16 was one of the most well-known engines. It's the largest capacity engine to have ever been made or put in a production car, and it was the most intense. And though electric cars can be just as fast as the combustion engines, you'll never get that raw feeling and that bone-shaking feel of driving the Bugatti at 304 miles an hour. And so, as you finish 304 miles an hour on your racetrack and you're slowing down, you might take a second to think about the last 110 years that have led to this moment, all of the innovation, the hours and the blood, sweat, and tears, and realize it is the end of an era, and this is a one-time experience. And so, as you slow down, you reach the end of the track, and you hit that stop point, and you hit the brakes, a smile creeps on your face, and you realize you've done it, and there's nobody that can take that away from you. Thank you.